Hello students, here the part second of the story The Portrait of a Lady written by Khushwant Singh. In the previous video we have explained the first part. Now we will continue its second part. Now let's start it. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. For some time she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me. I would tell her English word and little things of Western science and learning, the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, the world being round, etc. This made her unhappy. She could not help me with my lessons. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school and was distressed that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. One day, I announced that we were being given music lessons. She was very disturbed. To her, music had lewd associations. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. Now, see some typical words. Here, years rolled by means time passed, and distressed means suffer from extremely sorrow or anxiety or pain. Lewd association means here indecent or obscene, and harlots means prostitutes. Gentlefolk means here people of noble birth. Now see the explanation. As the years passed in the city, their interaction reduced. For some time, she continued to wake him up and would get him ready for school. She would ask him what he had learned in school that day. The scientific terminology and English words made her unhappy. As he didn't know the language, she could not help him with the lessons. As his new school never taught him about God and religious scriptures, this made her sad. She did not approve of such an education. When she came to know that he was getting music lessons, it disturbed her. According to her, music was indecent and it was an art for the beggars and prostitutes and not for those belonging to decent families. She did not like that he learned music. So she stopped talking to him. Now see the next paragraph. When I went up to the university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon, she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirpings. Some came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. Now, see some typical word. Snapped means here break suddenly and completely. Seclusion means here the state of being private and away from the people, accepted her seclusion with resignation. It means here the grandmother accepted a lonely life as she accepted the separation from her grandson without objection. And spinning wheel means here a household machine with a wheel attached to it for spinning yarn and a veritable bedlam of chirpings. It means here it refers to the noise and confusion caused by the chirpings of the sparrows. Veritable means here used to describe something which is very interesting or unusual. Bedlam means confusion. Chirpings means here the noise of a small bird and perched, alight or rest on something. Sweet means here make a person or animal go away by shouting or saying shoo. Now see the explanation. As the author went to university, he had a room of his own. The common link of his friendship with his grandmother that they had when they shared the same room was changed now, and thus his friendship with her ended. She became more private and spent her whole day spinning wheel from sunrise to sunset. She would sit and silently recite her prayers. In the afternoon, she used to feed sparrows in the veranda, breaking the bread into small pieces. She would feed hundreds of birds. The birds would gather around her. Some sat near her, some on her legs, some on her shoulders, and few on her head. She never showed them, but always smiled. She was the happiest in that half an hour during the whole day. Now, see the next paragraph. When I decided to go abroad for further study, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell. But my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. She came to leave me at the railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Silently, she kissed me forehead, and when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer and with frivolous rebukes. Now, see its typical words meaning. Sentimental means here a feeling of nostalgia, sadness, or tenderness. An emotional feeling. Beads means here a small piece of glass or stone threaded with others to make a rosary or necklace. Cherished means here hold something dear, and moist means wet. Imprint is used for impression or stamp. Clasped means hold tightly. Frivolous means not having any serious purpose, and light means light hearted. Rebuke means here disapproval of something or someone. Frivolous means here frivolous rebukes, light hearted scoldings. Now, see the explanation. When the author decided to go abroad for further studies, he believed it would be the last time. He would see her as he would be gone for 5 long years. As they all reached the station, she held him tightly and kissed his forehead. He thought it was the last physical contact with her. The bad impression of her hand was dear to him. She was not sentimental at all. When he came back after 5 years, she came to meet him at the station. She looked just the way she did 5 years ago, not a day older. She held him again in her arms and was still reciting her prayers. He noticed on the first day of his arrival that only sparrows would make her happy, nothing else. Now, see the next paragraph. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumped the sagging skins of the dili- dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. We had to pursue her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. The next morning, she was taken ill. It was a mild fever, and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. Now, see some typical words. Here, thumped means hit, and sagging is used for sinking downwards. Dilapidated means here in a state of despair or ruin. The sagging skins of the dilapidated drum, the loose surface of the worn out drum. And pursued means to talk someone into doing something, request. Overstraying means here overdoing something, and omitted means here leave out or exclude something. Now see the explanation. In evening, she did not follow her regular routine of praying. She collected a few women from the neighborhood and got a drum and started singing with them. She thumped the ruined part of the drum and sang along. The whole family persuaded her to stop as she might get ill due to exhaustion. The next morning, she fell ill. It was a mild fever. The doctors told them that it would go away, but she took it differently. According to her, she would die soon, as her end was near. She started chanting prayers as she didn't want to waste her last hours in talking to anyone. Now, see the next paragraph. We protested, but she ignored. or protests. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. Now, typical words. Protested means here express an objection against something or someone. Pallor means here an unhealthy, pale appearance. Now, see the explanation. Here the family protested, tried to stop her, but she lay peacefully on her bed, chanting prayers and doing her beads. Suddenly, she stopped and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A calm, pale appearance spread on her face, and now she was dead. Now, see the next paragraph. We lifted her off the bed and, as is customary, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. We stopped halfway in the courtyard. All over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff wrapped in the red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. There was no chirping. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them. She broke into little crumbs the way my grandmother used to and threw it to them. But the sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off, they flew away quietly. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. Now, see some typical words. Customary means here traditional, and crude means in a natural state or roughly made. Cremated means here dispose of or burn a body after it is dead. Blaze means here a very large burning fire, and shroud means a piece of cloth used to wrap a dead person, and corpse means dead body. Now, see the explanation. Here, the family lifted her from the bed, laid her on the ground, and wrapped her with a red colored cloth that is called shroud or kafan. Thousands of sparrows sat silently near her. The author's mother fetched some bread for the birds, but they didn't eat any. They flew away later as the family carried the dead body. The sweeper removed the crumbs the next morning. The birds were so sensitive they did not want to eat bread, but were mourning the death of the one who had fed them for so many days. Now, the lesson comes to the end. Hope you have understood. That's all about the lesson. Thank you.